Good Thursday morning, the 6th of August, 2020. And I mean Thursday for real this time. I said Thursday yesterday, so I said tomorrow was Friday, but tomorrow is Friday now, not then. Now I'm completely confused. So this is Guy McPherson, GuyMcPherson.com, otherwise known as Nature Bats Last. And I'm providing a few headlines as the stock markets open in the United States. So we'll start with a few. Actually, a majority of the headlines are from yesterday after the markets closed. This from the Wall Street Journal. Stocks rise on hopes for new coronavirus relief package. Yes, stocks always rise on hope that something is going to turn out better in the future. They go down on the fear that it won't. Speaking of which, from Reuters, Fed policymakers say pickup in infections slowing U.S. economic recovery. So back-to-back headlines, one from the United States, a mouthpiece of Empire, the Wall Street Journal, claiming that stocks rose yesterday, and they did finish solidly higher for all three major indices. And sure enough, hope has the stocks rising, but reality, in the form of Fed policymakers, indicate that the increases in infections is slowing the economy. Bear in mind, as I pointed out before, we're already in more dire straits than during the Great Depression of the late 1920s through the mid-1930s. Okay, from CNBC, you may get laid off again. Here's what to know about your unemployment benefits. Here's what to know about them. You aren't getting any. The Congress terminated all that, and they're battling back and forth about what minor pittance of an amount they're going to provide for people of their own money that they paid into the system. But I guarantee if any is provided, if it comes in time before the set of living arrangements goes away, it'll be really, really minor. So no need to worry. It's all bad. From NPR, Twitter, Facebook remove Trump post over false claim about children and COVID-19. And specifically, the information provided by Trump indicated that there was very little impact of the coronavirus on children. Contrast that with yesterday's headline from CBS News: Georgia second grader tests positive for coronavirus after first day of school, forcing class to quarantine. The entire class had to go into quarantine because of statements like those made by Trump and his many followers who continue to claim that the coronavirus is no worse than the flu. Tell me any time in history that a child showed up at elementary school with the flu and the next day the whole class was quarantined. I don't think you'll find that. That's what's happening now with this novel coronavirus. And speaking of clueless, from MarketWatch, clueless investors just keep driving this stupidly bullish stock market higher, CNBC's Jim Cramer says. That's from MarketWatch. And further information on that front is provided by Fox Business, also published yesterday after the close. NASDAQ nears 11,000, fastest 1,000 point jump since the dot-com bubble. If even Fox Business is implying that the current situation is a bubble, then it might actually be a bubble. And we know what happens to bubbles. They pop. Pop, pop, go the bubbles. All right, from this morning, in The Guardian, the UK publication, beachgoers warned to stay safe as UK braces for potential heat wave. Potential heat wave? I think that's something of an understatement from the mouthpiece of Empire for the English. From Australia this morning, the New Daily, everyone will do their utmost to keep supermarkets stocked. Vic Premier. And specifically, the New Daily in Australia is referring to the Victorian Premier, Daniel Andrews, and he's confident that the lockdown in Victoria will not prevent any disruption of food supply. So, in the category of bread and circuses, here's a premier in Australia claiming that we got this. Bread will be readily available, no need to worry. In the circus division of the bread and circuses department, we have a Reuters headline from this morning: as U.S. Congress wrangles over aid, millions of renters get desperate. Yeah, because they're about to get thrown out of the places they've been renting for years. They got no options. There's no money coming their way. All the money is being funneled to the wealthy. That's how capitalism works. And finally, for a superior example, a supreme example of the circuses division of the bread and circuses department, from CNBC, Nintendo just reported a wild 428% surge in profits thanks to the lockdown gaming boom. And most notably, Nintendo has now sold 22.2 million copies of Animal Crossing New Horizons, surpassing sales of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So there you go. Americans don't really care what's going on in the world, as long as there are circuses. Bread, whatever. So here we are at 9:32 in the morning, Eastern Time. Stock market's just open along with a 30-minute delay, and there's essentially no change in any of the three indices. No change at all. Bad news notwithstanding. Good news in the form of hope notwithstanding. Apparently those are balancing each other out. Good thing we have a balanced approach we're taking in this country to the economy. This is what I call balanced.